What's up, you geeks? Welcome back to the Nostalgic Gamers Club here exclusively on the internet. I'm Zach, and I like nostalgic games and nostalgic stuff. And so on this show, we talk about them, and that's it. That's the whole, the skibby? The skinny? I don't know. Today, you guys, we are talking about Top Gear Rally for the Nintendo 64. I gotta say, I've never played this game, and the gameplay footage that you're gonna see in a little bit is my first time ever seeing anything from this game. This game was recommended to me by a viewer who has since deleted their YouTube channel, so I can't find their name for reference. But dear viewer, thank you, because the gameplay portion of this was super fun. So today we're going to be taking a look at the front cover, the back cover, the cartridge itself, and the instruction booklet for Top Gear Rally, as well as some gameplay. And while this is a brand new game for me, I'm really hoping that for some of you, this can bring back some nostalgia of just, you know, hanging out in your parents' living room and playing N64, because that's, I mean, I'll be damned if that's not what the 90s was about. So starting off with the front cover here, we have Top Gear Rally, written in some pretty wacky kind of font. The O in top is kind of like a crosshair for some reason. It feels to me like they were maybe trying to do some sort of like, you know, retro futurism type deal. Rally has this sort of pink and orange checkered pattern on it, which is really nice. The main image of the car on the front here is really cool and honestly very detailed for a 3D render of this era. There's like dirt on the tires. It's hard to tell, but it looks like there might even be a little bit of dirt kind of on the underside of the front of the car there. They added in like a little bit of ghosting on the back end, so it kind of looks like some motion blur going on there. This is really cool. It kind of looks like like Toy Story, like a render from Toy Story. Over here on the right, it says Nintendo 64 designed for N64 Rumble Pack, designed for N64 Controller Pack, and it's 1 to 2 players. And here we got the official Nintendo seal of quality. And it was sold by Midway, in case you were wondering. Now the spines have kind of this lightning effect. We got one of the rally cars there. Looks like the same one from the cover. On this side, looks like we just have some texture back there, maybe some dirt. And honestly, on this spine, I have no really idea what that is. It's a continuation of the background over here, but it's kind of hard to make out. And speaking of that, the back of the box. It looks like maybe like a little mountain range with a track behind it is what we were seeing before. But it says, warning, this game will drive you up a wall, off a bridge, through a guardrail, and straight into a concrete abutment? I've never heard the word abutment before in my life. So that's new, something new for me. It says, jump in, buckle up, and drive yourself insane. Top Gear Rally will have your engines revving. No options on this baby. It comes fully equipped. 9 polygon cars, 5 intense tracks, desert, jungle, mountain, coastline, and strip mine, 4 high-performance game modes, and multiple camera views. Want more? How about eye-bugging 3D and super real effects? I gotta say, from the gameplay that I just played, the rain did look very good for the time, and the fact that you could kind of drive off course a little bit was pretty neat. Customize your car's graphics in the paint shop. Then tweak the transmission, tires, and steering. You ready? Shift it into high gear and run on and off-road through snow, rain, fog, dirt, gravel, and mud. Watch out for those Rumble Pack compatible wrecks. You don't walk away from them. Top Gear Rally, it's one cool ride. Freaky on and off-road racing, berserk jumps and crashes, shortcuts and hidden trails. I love this. To me, it seems like they're definitely not taking themselves too seriously. And they just want you to feel like, you know what, you're about to get your ass on a high-octane trip on a, you know, one-way ticket to the thrill zone. And all these pictures down here are really cool. I mean, these are just in-game grabs. When I just played arcade mode against, you know, one other arcade player. But it looks like you can have over 18 people in a race, which is nuts. That's a lot. That's kind of cool. This case is a little bit beat up, so you'll have to kind of forgive me there. Let's take a look at the cartridge here before we dive in too deep. Cartridge is well, it's the exact same as the front cover, so you know, not a lot going on there different, but it's still pretty cool. And the instruction booklet is also the front cover again. But we're just going to go through this and take a look at what this has to offer. Obviously, you always start with your warnings and your contents. And I will say, as we're going through this, if there's a page that you want to stop on and read a little bit more, I'll try to hold them up for you without my thumbs obscuring too much, so feel free to pause and take a look around. They talk just kind of about getting started, and this is really interesting because, to my knowledge, this isn't really a problem anymore, but I know with all these older consoles, if you started with the control stick in anything but neutral, then that is set as your neutral position when you start the game, and it stays that way, so it could really screw you up. It says here the control stick is a precision instrument. Make sure to not spill liquids or any foreign objects onto it. You telling me I got to keep my code red off my control stick? Get out of here. Here we have our basic controls, and they had different steering setups, which I think is really cool. So there's Type A, Type B, and Type C, where it basically just changes how you accelerate, how you brake, how you steer and reverse. It's just pretty cool. Oh, there's a Type D as well. So there's that. They talk here a little bit about championship mode, which I did not play. I played the arcade mode, which is right here. So that's just kind of your single player, or you can race your buddy in 2-player mode. And I didn't have any save data, so all I have is the first track available because I haven't unlocked any more from championship mode. But I think I'm going to work on that. I think I'm going to try to get that. I did find out today when I was getting ready to record this video that my Rumble Pack, I completely forgot that it took batteries, and it was my buddy's old Rumble Pack. And yeah, those batteries exploded in there, so I got some work to do to get that thing functional again. We have time attack mode, practice mode, the paint shop where you can customize your decals, which is awesome. I mean, that to me feels really ahead of its time, that you can sort of make your car your own. And it looks like up here you can kind of see which sections of your car you're doing that to. That's really cool. I feel like that's something that if you had the time to sit down and really, spend the time on a design, you could make something that looks really nice. There's a lot more here about the paint shop because obviously that was a pretty new thing to have added at that point. Creating different shapes, mirroring, clearing, undoing, all the good stuff. How to load and save your data. The different options available in the game. It looks like you could use a steering wheel as well, which is pretty cool. I never had a steering wheel accessory, but I feel like for a game like this would be a lot of fun. More of your options, the different camera views that are available. It starts you off by default in the first-person view. I'm not a big fan of that, never really have been, so I always like to default going back to that sort of third-person view. Goes over your track select, your car select. This was really interesting to me because we do talk here about your handling of your car. So there's like normal handling, your transmission, your tires, your suspension. These are things that I feel like a lot of racing games at this time were not thinking about at all. And to my knowledge, from the little bit that I've played and from what this instruction booklet is saying, it seems like it makes a pretty good difference on the game. Like if you have less grippy tires, you're going to slide around more, which might be what you want. I feel like the drifting in this game was actually pretty fun. There's a little section here about some hints that you can use to sort of make your way through the game. It wasn't a super tough game to get the hang of, but I do think it's nice that they included this in here anyway. We have our credits and our warranty, and then again, just kind of getting back to that cover there. And without further ado, let's watch some gameplay of this bad boy, shall we? Let's do it. So we're going to do things a little bit differently than we normally do this time. I'm going to leave this gameplay relatively unnarrated, uncommentated on. And at the end of it, I'll throw in some thoughts that I had. So enjoy some nostalgic Top Gear Rally gameplay. Top Gear Rally was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I did not read the instruction booklet prior to playing this. I wanted to go in blind, playing this, as if I were a kid in the 90s, going to a Blockbuster and just grabbing this off the shelf. And honestly, I had a lot of fun with it. I would continue to play this, and I think in my own spare time, I may go back and play the actual championship mode. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I will say, for a racing game, I wish this would have had more of a feel of speed. I feel like even when I was topping out at whatever it was, like 90 miles an hour, it still felt like you were just kind of crawling. Admittedly, if you've watched any other videos on this channel, you know that I'm not very good at racing games. I felt like this one controlled fine. I actually really liked the controls. They felt very sticky, but the sense of speed for me just wasn't really there. But the music and the graphics were super fun, very nostalgic. This game was from 1997, so a relatively early game in the N64's life cycle. But the fact that you could change the weather and that actually, to my feel anyway, gave some dynamics to the track, that was huge. It was cool going back and playing it. That was actually the reason that I went back halfway through the race and selected a different track, was I wanted to see if that would affect how things controlled it all, and it felt like it did. Maybe I'm just totally imagining that because I'm not very familiar with the controls yet, but it felt like the roads were slicker when I had the rain on, and that's pretty cool. Definitely feels ahead of its time with that. If I was a kid playing this, I could honestly see myself spending way too much time on it, especially in the way of kind of customizing decals, things like that, checking out all the different tracks, the weather conditions. And honestly, it didn't seem too hard. I know I came in last out of 2, but the game itself didn't seem too hard. It seemed like if I had spent some time on it, I could have probably gotten used to it a little bit more. Honestly, though, the speed feeling aside, I really enjoyed this. It looks nostalgic. It feels nostalgic. Even for a game that I've never played, this felt like it kind of transported me back to, my parents' living room when I was 7 years old. This was super cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, drop me a little like and subscribe, because that's very nice. It's a nice thing to do. And if you guys have any suggestions on what game I should play next, let me know in a comment, because clearly I buy user suggestions and I play them. I don't know, call me sappy, call me nostalgic, but there's just something really nice about diving into an old game, even if it's one that I've never played before. Top Gear Rally, you're all right. And you know what? Hey, so are you. You're all right. I like you. You're better than all right. You're great. And with that, I will catch you guys next week. Peace.